What's going on, guys? Hunter here with Goodman Lawn Care. Hope you're having a great day. Know I am. I'm gonna show you what we got going on today. Got the Hotichi or Hotech chainsaw. I'm not really sure how that's pronounced. That's not the point though. Point is, this chainsaw, it's time to maintenance it, it's time to clean it up, and it's time to sharpen the chain on it. So this is a Hipa chain, and I have a Hipa file sharpening kit here, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. And I'm also going to get into how to clean everything properly and how to make sure everything's in check whenever you get done using your chainsaw. So we're going to get into that. Before we do that, make sure you are subscribed. I looked at my analytics the other day, and a bunch of people are not subscribed that watch me, and I don't know why. I don't understand that. I don't understand that you just watch me and not subscribe. But anyway, change that, hit that subscribe button, and I'm gonna roll the intro and we'll get into it. So got the chainsaw taken apart. You can see it's pretty nasty. One thing you always want to do when you take your chainsaw apart, take your chain off, is lay your chain just like that so it doesn't get tangled up and you're not stuck with a mess. You're probably wondering how I'm going to clean this, and the answer to that is I'm going to use my air hose. If you don't have an air hose or anything like that, you can take a rag and some degreaser and just spray it in there and just clean it up real good. Just don't spray any degreaser directly into the engine or anything. It wouldn't hurt it if you did, but I just don't recommend doing it. So anyway, like I said, you can just take your finger out and clean it off like that. But for me, and not getting my hands dirty, it's a lot easier just to use the air hose and everything on it. So, and in a minute, I'm gonna show you how to clean this bar up real nice too. But first of all, I'm gonna get the air hose and get over here, and we're gonna blow this thing out. All right, so got the chainsaw all cleaned up there. Like I said, I'll take some degreaser or something here in a minute and clean up the rest, but that just gets all the gunk and stuff out of there. Now, next thing I do is I take the chainsaw bar just like that, and I get something that'll fit down in that groove right there. You can take, this is a little finishing nail. You can take a finishing nail, a toothpick, whatever you got. Get it in that bar, and you just want to go down that bar just like this. And see, I'm getting all this gunk off right here. I'm getting a lot of gunk off of that inside of that bar. And you just want to keep going. Just like that. Do it all the way down. All right, and then just make one more lap, make sure we got it clean. Got that. Do the same thing on the other side. A lot of stuff up in there, a lot of mess. It's important to clean this part out right here because these grooves on the chain right there, excuse me, that's what they ride in right there. And if it's sitting up or something, your chain is liable to come off and it just doesn't run as good. So it's just better to clean that up and make sure you keep everything clean after you use it. And you're probably wondering how often you should do this. Really, somebody like me that uses it a good bit, I try to do it about once a week, something like that. The occasional homeowner that uses the chainsaw, I'd say, once every couple of weeks, once a month. I'd say just use your own judgment on that. When it gets really, really dirty, I wouldn't let it get just filthy before I did it, but noticeably, I guess is what I would say. Just kind of use your own judgment on it. But if you're using it daily, I would probably try to keep it clean daily. But if you're using it kind of like I do, I don't use it, I'm primarily a lawn care guy. I use my chainsaws probably, once or twice a week maybe. Occasionally cut crepe myrtles or hedges or something like that, tree limbs. I could get by with cleaning mine maybe once a week, sometimes even once every 2 weeks if I don't use it a lot. But, if you're using it every day, I'd say wash it every day. But if you're using it, occasionally just kind of use your own judgment on it. But that's kind of what I would do. But anyway, I hope that answers some questions or anything. If not, you can leave them down in the comments and I'll answer them best I can. Try to get this up to the camera so you can see. This is a Hipa. It says Hipa right somewhere right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a Hipa chain. Hipa sent me this chain. Really happy with this chain. I've sharpened it. This is the second time I've sharpened it, and I'm going to show y'all how to sharpen it here in a minute. But it holds a very good edge, and it's just an overall really good chain. I'm going to get the super clean degreaser over here. We're going to degrease this stuff, get it all cleaned up, and put it back together, and then I'll show you how to sharpen it. All right, guys, this is the super clean Tough Task degreaser, just in the regular bottle here. Really like this stuff a lot. And see, what I would even do right here, I don't even know that I'm going to spray it on there. I think I'm just going to spray it on the rag and just do it like that. Probably the easiest thing to do. And just take it in there. You're just going to clean out all that gunk in there. Really like using degreaser a lot. Fun fact, I'd never really used degreaser before until Super Clean sent me some one time. And really awesome stuff. It's really a game changer. Good stuff to have around in your shop. Work around with it. Good stuff to have. And just takes anything right off of there. I wash my rims on my trucks with it. I wash my lawnmowers with it. My decks and everything. Keeps everything really nice and clean, and I really like using it a lot. Now on these bars, you can spray that stuff right on there. You can let it sit a minute if you want to. I normally just wipe it because it's going to come right off. Now I will say, if you have a chainsaw that's been sitting in the shop and hadn't been cleaned ever, you are going to want to let that degreaser, maybe just let it soak on there just a little bit before you just start wiping on it, because that will be kind of a tough task to get off there. But the degreaser will get it off. You just want to, like I said, just let it sit a few minutes before you start wiping down on it and everything. But got the Hotichi or Hotech bar all cleaned up there. Put it over there. Then we're going to clean this. Clean this cover. Get it looking real good. You're probably thinking, some of y'all are probably thinking, this is such a waste of time, so much effort, time and effort putting in this thing, you know, whatever. But this is the life of your equipment, you know. Your equipment depends on you maintaining it and taking care of it and really making sure that your equipment is in good shape and everything. And when you take it apart, you know, you may find something wrong with it and you may not, but you know, you get to access all this and you can see something and you can kind of clean it. And if you keep it clean, it's definitely going to last you a lot longer, and it's going to treat you well. So anyway, pretty good there. I'm not really looking to get it perfect. I'm just trying to get it cleaned up just a little bit there. All right. So got it all cleaned up, looking pretty good. We're gonna pop everything back together and I'll show you how to sharpen it. Also wanted to point this out. Some people might be watching this video and have never really, you know, paid much attention to these things. And I'm sure a lot of people have done this before many times. I know I have for sure. When you're putting your chainsaw chain back on, these arrows right here, you can kind of see they need to go out. So your arrows need to be facing towards the outside of the bar there, because if they're facing like this, you're not going to get anything cut. No matter how many times you sharpen it, I don't care, it's just not going to cut. So that's the way your chain goes on correctly, with the arrows pointing out. So just want to throw that in there. Like I said, some of y'all are probably thinking, yeah, we know that, you idiot, but I just want to throw that in there for some people that, you know, maybe don't know. All right, another little tip I want to throw in here. A lot of people never really know how sharp, or not sharp, how tight to get your chain. And the way I answer that is kind of going to have to be what you're doing with it. If you're going to be cutting like shrubs and stuff like I am most of the time with this saw, you're going to want to get that extremely tight, because if you're cutting shrubs and like little bitty stuff with your chainsaw, this thing does not need to be loose. So that's about how I get it, just where you can kind of pull up on it just a little bit And I like mine a little bit tighter because if it's not tight, it's liable to come off a little bit easier. But like I said, that's just kind of how I do it. A lot of people like to keep it a little looser, but that's just kind of how I do it. Like I said, it just kind of depends on what you're cutting with, what you're going to be cutting it and everything. But just want to throw that in there. All right, guys. So first things first, you're going to want to mark your starting point, just like that right there. And I'm going to use the file with the guide on it because that's what I like the best. I like using that. You can pick this up on Hipa's website. I believe this one runs, I don't really know exactly how much this is, I forgot. But you can use code GLC10 for 10% off of your purchase. And like I said, I will show you in here in a minute how to figure out what size file you need for your saw. So once you establish the right size file, if I can get this thing, there we go. You're gonna put it in there just like that. You're gonna tighten that up. And I like using this right here because it holds you steady, and just like that right there. And you can hold on to this end and hold on to this end like that. And you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. All right. Then sometimes you might have to remark your spot. If I use a permanent marker, it doesn't do this. Right now I'm having to use this Expo marker, which I'm not a fan of, but gotta do what you gotta do. So that was with the chainsaw guide, the file guide and everything. You can do it with the regular file. I'll show you how to do that as well. And this kind of gives you a better visual of how you're gonna do it. So I'm gonna unclamp this camera real quick and show you if I can. So that's how your file needs to sit in your chainsaw chain. You want it even with the line that's right there, just like that. And when it goes, it's gonna go just like that. So hope that makes sense. Kind of doing it in slow motion for y'all to show you. I'm not actually sharpening, I'm just showing you how it needs to go, just like that. And another thing that's really important is you want to make sure you go the same amount of strokes on each chain. So 1, 2, 3. And you can hear that I'm getting a really, really good clean file on that one. 1, 2, 3. All right, and we're gonna change over to this one. 1, 2, 3. And notice I'm only getting the ones that are facing this way. We'll come back and get these on the second time around, and I'll show you how to do that. We're gonna flip the chainsaw around and get those on the next time. So I just did that one right there, so I'm gonna go to this one. 2, 3. All right, and we're gonna go over to this one here. 1, 2, 3. And every once in a while when you get a good file or that you've been using for a while, you might have to turn it just like that a little bit to get to a good side that hadn't been filed on much. And then you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Really, really simple, nothing to it. And that was my mark. So there we go, got that side sharpened. So now we're going to undo the vise and flip the saw around and do the other side. Hopefully y'all can see that good. This side right here is a little bit more aggravating for me to do. I don't know why. I guess because I'm right-handed. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it feels like it does. So we're going to remark our starting point just like that right there. And I'm going to start on this one. I'll sharpen that one back around because when I file it, sometimes it wipes off that Expo marker. So, but like I said, you can use permanent marker and that would work a lot better. 1, 2, 3. Didn't get a good one on that last one, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is it. That is all it takes to sharpen a chainsaw. All you need is a file and a file guide, and really you don't even have to have the file guide, but I highly recommend getting one of these. They're not very expensive. Like I said, you can get one on Hipa's website. Use code GLC10 to get 10% off of your purchase, and it also has the right angles and everything on there. It's a complete guide and everything, shows you how to do it. What I like about it is it just makes it a whole lot easier to just stick on there, and it keeps you level, it keeps you where you need to be and everything. And so it'll come in a package just like this. A little bit dirty from where I was working with it earlier, and it'll give you the handle, the file guide, and the file. It'll get you fully everything you need to get started, and then you can pick up another extra pack of files when you get done, and that way you'll know you'll have everything you need. So also it has this little demonstration here on the back, shows you what you need to do, stuff like that. So anyway, so now I'm going to show you how to figure out what kind of file that you need for your chainsaw. All right, so I'm going to show you how to figure out what type file to get for your chainsaw when you're sharpening it, and how to match your chain up and everything. So on every chainsaw, and a lot of people probably know this, on every bar there is these numbers right here. It tells you how long your bar is, how many drive lengths are in it, what pitch it is, and how wide the bar is right here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to match this right here up to this right here on your box. So every chainsaw chain box comes with this right here on top of it, or on the back or the side somewhere. It's going to tell you it's 325 pitch, that's how wide it is right there, 80 drive lengths, 20-inch bar, and then a 3/16 file. So this obviously would not fit this, but I was just using it for example. This is a 20-inch bar right here and 80 drive length, and this is a 16-inch bar with 66 drive length is what that is. So there you go. And you can use different brand chains on different brand chainsaws. Like I said, you just need to make sure those numbers right there match up with that, and that is how you figure out what kind of file to use. It's on your box right there where you got your chain. And they also make different tools like drill tap charts that Hipa sells. You can figure out what size file it is, and I think you can look at it. They have a thing where you can put it up to your chainsaw chain and figure out what kind of file it takes. Or I think Oregon makes one of those, and Hipa may make one of those. I'm not real sure. I'll have to check with them on that. But anyway, that was a pretty hard video to film. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope you learned how to sharpen a chainsaw. Mr. Tim O'Brien taught me how to do that. Cotton Top 3 taught me how to sharpen the chainsaw. I went through a saw class, learned how to do that, and I've been doing it ever since. So works really, really good. Easiest way to do it, and gets it razor sharp. And I promise you, if you do it the right way, your saw will cut really, really good. So that being said, don't forget to check out Hipa's website. Use code GLC10 for 10% off your order at checkout, and all that good stuff. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hope you learned how to sharpen your chainsaw there, and how to maintenance it properly. That stuff's real important to know how to do. It's good to know, always good to know how to learn new things and sharpen chainsaws. And like I said, maintenance is the life of your equipment, and keeping it clean and everything really helps it out. So glad I was able to film that video. Got any questions or comments, leave them down below. And any other tips, chainsaw pros or anybody that knows anything about it, leave some comments down below for everybody. Leave some tips. All about helping people learn more and everything. So just comment down below. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate you watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.